Hey guys, welcome to Getting Maced, the most fun, in my opinion, that you could ever have getting maced. Because, you know, when you think of mace, it's either the pepper spray that the police put in your eyes or the ball with the spikes in it. But I'm Mace, and I hope that you have fun with all the different things that we do on this channel. Today it's time for a music review, and I love all kinds of music, I really do. But my passion is rock music, and I'm primarily kind of stuck in the 90s for my musical tastes. Some of my favorite bands of all time would be Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. Really like these guys as well, Stone Temple Pilots. And what we're looking at today is the 25th anniversary of the record Core, and more specifically the Super Deluxe reissue of that. This was released, you had to pre-order it on September 29th, 2017, and I got this specific one through Rhino Records and ordered it in, and what we'll do is we'll take a little look through it today. Now, legend has it that this is one of 15,000 copies of the Super Deluxe, so I kind of sprung into action to make sure that I could get it. Surprisingly enough, it didn't seem to sell that quickly. I think that those 15,000 copies are all gone now. I don't know for sure. Maybe you can leave me a comment and let me know. But what we'll do is we'll take a look through this, because maybe you were curious and you wanted to get this and didn't get a chance to. So I'll take you through a tour of it, of what is inside Core Super Deluxe. Alright guys, so here is the front of it, as we have already showcased. On the back of it, it's just kind of an eerie, creepy, dead-looking tree, and very kind of nice and shiny as well. As mentioned, that this specific copy comes from Rhino Records, and to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed, and I'll get to two reasons that I was disappointed with this. The first, you can see on the bottom of it, or you should be able to see it in this shot right here. It's a little crumpled, and this, I live in Canada. This was shipped from somewhere in the U.S., I believe in California, so it had to travel a fair distance, and all it came in is just a piece of brown cardboard, just kind of a typical packing sleeve that they would have to ship albums in, and somewhere along the way it kind of got a little bit crunched. I mean, it didn't say fragile or anything of that nature on it, so you know, it's not a huge amount of damage, but you know, I was a little bit disappointed when I opened it up and saw that it had a little bit of a rupture, if you will, on the bottom of the album itself. So when you open it up, this is what you get, and that's pretty cool. So you know, there's Mr. Scott Weiland and all his glory. A very sweaty looking Dean DeLeo over Scott's shoulder there. And as we go this way, you can see brother Robert DeLeo and Mr. Eric Kretz on drums in the background. So this is what you open the record up to, or open the package up to. If you flip through this, on the backside, this is where the CDs and the DVDs are located, and again, that theme of the creepy tree, but this one in black and white. So over here you have the DVD, and then the 4 CDs, and we'll get to what's on those CDs in just a moment. Flipping back over to the front enclosure, and up here, this is where the album and some of the goodies that came with this. So it wasn't a super comprehensive package, but when I got this album, it was wrapped in a piece of cellophane and stuck to the outside of the record, basically behind the cellophane, and the front of this package itself was this. So I kept it, and what this is it tells you what's on all of the CDs. So I kept it because it's kind of an extra little piece to go with it. So the first CD itself that we looked at in the back sleeve here, the first record, or the first CD I should say, up here is just a remaster of the Core album itself. Does it sound any better? That could be up for debate. I think it sounded great back when it was recorded in '92, but it has been remastered. It sounds great. I have played this CD, and you know, I haven't really done a side-by-side comparison with the original and the remaster, but it certainly does sound great. There's also some B-sides and demos of various songs that they were looking to cut for Core. You also get some live performances from '93 when they were touring touring in support of this album. And then down here, this one is kind of the rare piece is the unplugged performance from MTV, which was done back in 1993. And a lot of bands obviously had great success with their unplugged performances and sold a lot of albums because of it, and sold the unplugged albums specifically. But the neat thing is this has never been released before until now. From Stone Temple Pilots, there was some video floating around of the performance, but they actually never released an unplugged CD, much like bands like Nirvana and Alice in Chains did when they appeared on MTV Unplugged. So kind of neat to get that for the first time. I have heard the songs before, but it's basically anything that was available on YouTube. And this didn't come in here. I saved this. So this was a sticker that was on the outside of the cellophane that covered and enclosed this package. So I very neatly tried to cut it out with a pair of scissors to save it, because it talks about what is in this package, and you should be able to read that okay right there. So it was just kind of a little bit of extra something, so I keep it tucked in here. So if we flip back over to the front enclosure, and what else is in here is there's a book that came with it. The only thing that if I had a wish list of things that they could have maybe done differently, it would have been nice if this had been a little bit more of a hard cover to it. Not necessarily like a hard book cover, but if it was just maybe some thicker paper or something. This is really, it's just like the page of a magazine, for lack of a better comparison. But this is what you get inside of it. This is basically the surviving band members talking about what they remember from getting together with producer Brendan O'Brien to record Core back in the early 90s. That story continues over here. A very early picture of the band here as well. There's some nice little pieces in here. Again, if you're a fan, something nice to have. Here's the all the guys dressed up as Kiss. Some early pictures of Scott Weiland when he was still a very healthy looking individual, still had some weight to him. Of course, Scott, battled with drugs for many, many years and became very kind of skinny, and went through a lot of different looks over his career, even when he was with Velvet Revolver as well. Always loved the pictures of Scott with the megaphone or the bullhorn, whatever you want to call it, a kind of a trademark of his that he used on stage and used it in a lot of different songs. So, just kind of some rare pictures and early publicity shots. This is kind of neat as well, as the story continues, outlining the recording process and kind of some different memories of this record. You've got some of the early the early ideas that they had for logos. So this is basically the logo that they landed on for Stone Temple Pilots, and a few of the different ones. And then up at the top we have what the band was originally called, until they figured out that somebody else had the name, was Mighty Joe Young. So that was kind of an early name for the band and an early logo that they had come up with. Some more action shots of the boys, and then it's got all the track listings and the lyrics for the songs as you go through. And then this is kind of neat as well. It's got another picture here of a Mighty Joe Young, kind of an all-access backstage pass type thing. And then these would be some penmanship, I would believe, from Scott Weiland himself, doing some notation and some lyrics and some song titles and things of that nature. And then on the back, again, it kind of goes through what all is enclosed, and it's got some original album credits and then credits for the some thank yous and credits for the reissue. And that is it for what the booklet is. And then on the back, kind of a nice early picture of all of the guys with their names written around it, having a little hug, showing a little bit of love to each other. So that's pretty cool. And then the last piece that is inside of this is the album, the vinyl itself. And this is the second defect that I was going to talk about. Kind of I was a little bit little bit upset, not angry or anything, but disappointed, I guess is the best way to put it. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a moment. So this is 180 grams, so a very heavy vinyl. Apparently for audiophiles it sounds better. I haven't actually played this yet because my turntable is still in storage, but you know, someday I'll pull it out and give this a listen. But what I'm talking about for a bit of a defect, and you can see it right here, is it came scratched. And how this happened is this sleeve, where it was stuck in here, I think basically what happened is when they make these albums, they have to, you know, kind of do a bit of a hole punch here in the center of the vinyl, and somehow that shrapnel from either this specific album or maybe another one on the assembly line got jammed down in the sleeve. It was actually kind of stuck to this, and it was really just a piece of vinyl with what looked to be a little bit of a label on it, just a little circle that was really just kind of gouged and jammed into this. And through shipping and manufacturing and whatnot, it had of course been sitting in this sleeve and had been kind of chafing there a little bit. So it's a bit of a deep groove. Like I said, I haven't played this, but I would bet just about anything that it would skip, and it's right on the very first song on the record, which is one of my favorites, Dead and Bloated. So yeah, a bit of a gouge there, a bit of a disappointment. As soon as I saw it, I did send a tweet to Rhino Records, and they didn't reply to me. I mean, if I had been passionate about it, I probably could have not been lazy and picked up the phone and called customer service to see if there's anything that they could have done for me, but I didn't. Either way, happy to have it. I wasn't so much hardcore on wanting to play the vinyl. I mean, it's nice to have. You know, the CDs are great to have as well, but I just kind of wanted to have this because Stone Temple Pilots fan, big fan of the album core itself, and this really just kind of sits on my coffee table as a kind of a point of interest, and you know, something to talk about if somebody comes over to kind of chill out. They can kind of leaf through it, and we can reminisce about Stone Temple Pilots. So there you have it, guys. Please, I would love to know what you think. Leave me some comments below. You know, do you have this record? Have you ever seen any weird little kind of gouges like that, whether it was from, you know, Rhino or a different manufacturer? Like I said, I kind of think it's the hole punch for the center of the album itself, but like I said, I don't know, but I would love to hear your comments. Have you heard Super Deluxe? Did you try to order it and miss out? Let me know what you think of the video as well. If you kind of like this type of thing, would like to see me do some more of these types of things, give me a thumbs up, maybe leave me a comment and let me know. Certainly let me know what else you would like to see. I can say that my collection does span outside of rock and roll. I've got some cool country memorabilia as well, if that's your thing. Some very, very old pieces as well, and we'll get into that as the videos progress. But you know, I think as music lovers, we're all very curious whether, you know, that specific type of music is our favorite or not. Sometimes we're very curious to see different kinds of vinyl and you know, some older technology and just nostalgia in general. So I certainly look forward to sharing that with the music community going forward. I'm Mace. Again, thank you for checking out this video. Would love if you could subscribe as well, and I'll catch you again next time. Thanks for watching. Take care.